Hey, what's up, guys? It's C-Stacks here, coming to you with the Omega's box opening, finally. So this is the last set of the Omega level story arc. I'll be honest, I'm really excited for this one, legitimately. I think these are some of the coolest cards they've done in a while. Obviously, some are better than others, but we'll get into that. But I'm actually pretty excited for this one. You guys probably remember, I wasn't a huge on the Futures Past set. I did like the Brotherhood one quite a bit, but to me, this is the coolest one of the three. Now, there are some things about, we'll just get that in the end, about how, because of the way Omegas work, you're technically not getting like as many quote-unquote playable cards, but it is what it is. It's just because of how they design the Omegas, and I like the way they design the Omegas in general. So I'm pretty excited for this one. So I actually also like the design of this box. Usually I criticize how they just kind of throw a character on there, but I don't know, with like just the colors and everything here, I just think it all works really well. Because I just really like the artwork they chose for Jean Grey. So it's the Omegas. It's Volume 3, Issue number 9. We'll get into the side of the box here. In this aptly named conclusion to the Omega level story arc for Versus System 2 PCG, your deck will be filled with an A-list. Okay, well, that's just false advertising. Your deck will be filled with an A-list of powerful mutants. Yeah, I do take issue with that wording. That's false advertising right on the box, because you cannot fill your deck with Omega level mutants. You can pick one. You can play up to 4 copies of one, or I guess 7 if you're playing Jean with power-ups, but that's just false advertising. Your deck will be filled with an A-list of powerful mutants. Challenge your opponent with the confidence that comes with bulking up your deck with the likes of Jean Grey, Storm, and Legion. Again, that wording implies that you could play all of them. The confidence that comes with bulking up your deck with the likes of Jean Grey, Storm, and Legion. How about Jean Grey, Storm, or Legion? Maybe that. Massive mutant ability like this will surely classify your deck as Omega level. So the description on the side is honestly extremely misleading. If you guys don't know what I'm talking about yet, you have to pick one Omega level mutant to put in your deck. So to me, that's not really a weakness of the box, because different decks want different Omegas, and there's cool things you can do with a bunch of them. But it is definitely a weakness on... Yeah, this is misleading. That's literally false advertising. Okay, we'll go over the rule sheet a little bit here. I'm willing to bet this rule sheet is quite a bit bigger than normal. Oh no, it's just a normal size. They fit all the Legion stuff on one sheet. So I'll go over this briefly. You can pause and look at it. This is the part you're definitely going to probably want to reference to figure out if you like Legion or not, is all these different personalities that you need to play Legion. Because you're going to randomly pick one of these when he comes into play and every turn. So we're just going to continue hovering over these. Okay, let's get into these cards, because I'm excited to look at these, because they're definitely very pretty. So you'll notice right off the bat, all of these are full art. This is the first time they've ever done non-promo full arts. This whole set is all full art cards, which is like actually just like really cool of them to do that. Okay, so our only main character in the box is Jean Grey. I love the artwork on her. At level 1, she is a 2/2, 5 health Omega. She's aka Phoenix and Dark Phoenix. She's Omega level mutant, so you can't include Omega level mutants with other names in your deck. I'm not going to read that every time because they all say that. Traumatic event, level up 1. When a character on your side with cost 1 gets KO'd on an enemy player's turn, Jean gains an XP. So I'm really not a fan of this level up condition. I feel like your opponent can just choose to not kill your 1-drop. Now there are particular 1-drops that you could play that you're really going to put your opponent in a situation where they really want to kill it. Something with flight would be good probably. Otherwise they'll just stun this first and then stun your 1-drop. But in general, I feel like this one is like really easy for your opponent to just not give you. Level 2, she is a 5/5. She gains range. She has 6 health now. She has out of control. When Jean attacks, put 3 -1 counters on another character on your side. Reduce the number of counters by 1 for each XP she has. Learning control, level up 3. When you put counters on a character on your side, When Jean is out of control, she gains 1 XP. So you attack, put 3 -1s on one of your guy, you get an XP. Now, the next time you attack, you'll only have to put 2 -1s on one of your guy, another XP, and then the third time you attack, you'll have 2 XP, so you only do 1, so 2 less. So yeah, so you have to hurt your own guys. The flavor of this is just awesome, though. Like, you know, her powers are out of control. She accidentally hurts her own people whenever she tries to attack, but she gets better and better, hurts them less every time. The flavor is just phenomenal. And then at level 3, she's insane. At level 3, she's an 8/8, flight range, 7 health, and she has Psychic Firebird. Main yellow, that's yellow, obviously because it's full art. They don't have the color, they just have the symbol, but that's yellow. Main yellow, remove an enemy player's hand or deck from the game. You can remove their whole deck from the game. So yeah, so I think the level up is kind of rough, particularly from 1 to 2. And then this one's kind of slow because unless you're like untapping it with like X Factor or something, then it's going to take her 3 turns to do that. But the level 3 is absolutely insane. And even under the current Mimic errata, you can still use the level 3 Jean on level 3 Mimic. So I actually do think this card will see play, maybe more likely to be seeing play in a Mimic deck, but I wouldn't be surprised to see someone try to do Jean, because being able to remove your opponent's deck from the game is like insane. It is a yellow ability though, so obligatory Jessica Jones reference, but Jessica Jones isn't legal for Alpha and Omega format, so that's a thing. But I just love the look of the full art main character. I hope we get more things like that. All right, now let's get into the rest of these here. So they're all 8 drops. It's all characters, and that's just a box full of 8 drops. Again, they're all Omegas though, so you can't put all of these or multiple of these in your deck, which is a turnoff for some new players, I think, but I think that could have been fixed by maybe some better advertising. Again, the side of this box is misleading, so you know, that is what it is. Kind of a bummer. But the cards themselves, I think, are really cool. Okay, so Elixir, this was one of the last ones we saw. He's an 8 cost, 0/1, 1 health, Omega. He has Biokinesis. When you recruit Elixir and at the start of your turn, choose one, KO an enemy supporting character, or put a supporting character from your KO pile onto your side. This one is not one of the better ones, I don't think. I mean, well, you do trigger it when he comes out. It's just that he's like a 0/1, right? Because there's a lot of powerful Omegas that we're about to get into that have powerful abilities and great stats. But he's definitely not bad. I just don't see you playing him over one of these other guys. Exodus, 9/6, fight range, 8 cost, 1 health. Omega, he has Psionic of the highest order. At the end of each enemy draw phase, that player discards a random card. At the end of each enemy recover phase, exhaust an enemy character on that side. At the end of each enemy build phase, turn an enemy location on that side face down. At the end of each enemy main phase, put 3 -1 counters on an enemy character on that side. So obviously those are all good. This card's actually pretty powerful. Again, though, he's only got 1 health. His stats are a little low, as we're going to start to see with some of the other Omegas. But I actually think this card's like really strong, because that's like, this happens forever. You get to do all of these things. You're not picking one. Okay, that actually seems really strong to me. Hope Summers, 8 cost, 7/7, 1 health, Omega Mutant, Pluripotent Echopraxia. When you recruit Hope, she gains 3 powers from her Echo Pile until she leaves play. So an Echo Pile, oh boy. Let me just reference the rule sheet real quick. I'm so tired of these cards that make you reference the rule sheet to know how they work. Echo Pile. You start the game with a prior out-of-game Echo Pile. It must consist of exactly 1 Brotherhood, Resistance, and X-Men supporting character who do not share names. So you pick 3 mutant characters, 1 from each other mutant team, and then you're going to build your own mutant, as Burt would say. You're going to pick the powers that you want for her. So that's pretty strong. It's got to be strong, right? She's understated. She's only got 1 health. So she's not my favorite, but there's got to be something you can do with this. I haven't like really gotten into it and looked at like what are all the best mutant things you can take. Match seems good. I think Match would probably be one of them, or maybe Domino as your resistance guy. But very cool. I just wish that she explained what she does on the card. That's going to be a video at some point, you guys, because that's a big pet peeve of mine. Anyways, moving on. Oh, I like this one a lot, and it might be my favorite artwork in the box. We have Iceman, 8 cost, 18-1, range, 2 health, Ice Age. When you recruit Iceman and at the start of your turn, freeze each enemy location. So you exhaust their locations, and they can't ready on the next turn. And exhausted resources do not generate recruit points. So you're going to set them back X turns, where X is equal to the number of face-up locations they have. Because it only freezes locations, it doesn't freeze resources. So he's not as good as like I maybe originally thought when I first read him. But I do think this one is pretty good. He's like a good counter to Monarch, one of the other guys in here. Like if your opponent plays Monarch and you follow it up with Iceman, like that's actually insane. The 1 health on him is kind of a bummer, but he's 18. So you know it is what you gotta do what you gotta do when you put 18 attack on a main character or on a supporting character. But he might not be the best one, but he's one of my favorite ones, and a lot of that might have to do with this killer artwork. I love the look of that card. He looks incredible. This is one that I think is probably among the best ones. We have Jean Grey, supporting character. She's an 8/8, flight range, 3 health. She is an alpha level telepath. When you recruit Jean Grey, move an enemy supporting character to your side. It doesn't have to be of a particular cost or anything. It's not until the end of the turn. It's not until she leaves play. You take their guy and you keep that guy. So that's really good. She's kind of understated for some of these. You can basically do the same thing with Magneto, but it's less permanent. I'll talk about that when I get there. But like, I think this is just one of the more reliably good ones. Like she's always gonna. I just think she's more consistently good than some of these more situational ones, or some that are more difficult to pull off. I just think she's like a really, really, really solid card, and a lot of times you're just gonna be picking her. As your Omega. Oh, it's worth noting that one thing she has going against her is because she's AKA Dark Phoenix, you can't have this and Dark Phoenix on your side at the same time. So if you are trying to get to Dark Phoenix 9-drop eventually, you're going to have to KO this. So that part is kind of a bummer. That's actually pretty relevant and worth noting for competitive play. Kid Omega. I don't actually remember what this does, but I remember it being crazy. He's a 6/9, flight range, 1 health, mental paralysis. When you recruit Kid Omega, enemy players play with their hands revealed until he leaves play. At the start of your main phase, choose a character in each enemy player's hand. They can't play cards with that name until Kid Omega leaves play. Okay, yeah, so this one is like really cool as like a control card to me. If you could protect this and like keep locking down cards in their hand, that seems really cool to me. Again, I don't know that you play it over the other Omegas. The thing is, he's an 8 cost, and to like start locking down their hand on turn 8, it's kind of late. He's pretty understated. He's got 1 health, so I don't know that he's the most competitive of these. And again, I usually review these cards from like a competitive mindset, but not every card has to be competitive. Sometimes a cool card is good enough, and I think all of the Omegas are cool. So I actually do like this one a lot. It's the 1 health that I think really kind of seals his fate as not being the competitive Omega that you're going to pick for your competitive tournament deck. Here's this guy, the last Omega we saw, Legion. He's insane. He's an 8 cost, 1/1, 2 health, and he has spontaneous mutation. When you recruit Legion and at the start of your build phase, a random personality takes him over. So again, another card that doesn't tell you what it does on the card. Pet peeve of mine. Also, freaking killer artwork. But so what those are all these things that we went through in the rule sheet, right? You're going to randomly pick one of these. There's 20 of them, so you would roll like a d20, a 20-sided dice, and then like count down to pick your thing. The thing with this is, and why I think he's probably the least playable of all of them, is because there's that element of randomness, right? There's no consistency with this. So you could get something amazing, like one of them is like a 30-30 with grab. So basically, when a personality takes over, he gains that card's name and all of its text and stats. So like, if he picks this one, number 2, his name becomes Jamail Karami, and he's a 10-10 with telepathic. Enemy players can't draw cards, right? So you could get something good, like one of these is a 30-30 with grab, or you could get something that, if you roll a 1, he is a David Haller and he's a 0-1. There's one that like lets you pick the one you want. There's one that lets you pick 2. So the ceiling with this is really, really high, and the floor is extremely low. But I like the design of it a lot. I'm annoyed. I always get annoyed at cards that don't tell you what to do on the cards. I'm feeling generous about it right now as I open this box because they're all really cool. But at some point, I'll talk more about that. But I think he's among the bottom rung of Omegas just because of the randomness element. This is among the better ones, though, with Magneto. He is a 10/10 flight range, 2 health, Omega Mutant, Mastery of Magnetism. Now, this one is a doozy, so here we go. When you recruit Magneto, choose an enemy player to reveal their hand, then choose an equipment there and discard it. Then you may KO an enemy equipment and or move an equipment from any character to an unequipped character. Then search your deck and KO pile for 1 equipment each, reveal them, and put them into your hand. This turn, you may play equipment for free, ignoring team restrictions. So the last couple of parts there are the most crucial. Obviously, getting to look at their hand is good. If there's a location there to an equipment there to discard, even better. Moving an equipment can be really relevant. Say they have like a nullifier or something you want to take, or even like imagine like stealing their power loader and putting it on your guy. Seems amazing. But you also get to search your deck and KO pile for equipment, and then you get to play equipment for free this turn, and you ignore team restrictions. So get you a power loader, play it for free. Get you any of the 6-cost Infinity Gems, play them for free. Seems amazing. Get you a Cosmic Cube, play it for free. I know I compared it to Jean Grey, who steals a guy. Get you a 7-cost Serpent Crown, which lets you take one of your opponent's characters and play that for free. So you're effectively getting a Jean Grey with additional stats and additional effects. So I actually think Magneto is like a really, really strong pick. If you're, most decks already play Nullifier. A lot of decks already play Serpent Crown. A lot of the Infinity Gems have proven to be really, really strong. Like the one that the one that flips up a guy, the one that lets you ramp. There's all kinds of good Infinity Gems, and this guy lets you just grab it and play it for free. The more and more I think about this guy, the more and more I like this guy. So Magneto is among my pick for he's at the top of my list for Omegas. I don't know if he's the best one. I'll talk about the one I think is the best one when we get to it. Mr. M, 15/10 range, 1 health, subatomic manipulation. When you recruit Mr. M, do both. Power removal. Choose a keyword or superpower on an enemy character. Enemy characters lose and can't gain that power until Mr. M leaves play. Pretty good. Power augmentation. Choose a keyword or superpower on another character on your side. Characters on your side and in your hand that can KO pile with that power, gain that power again. So you basically get to double a chosen power. You could do like maybe double Berserker or something. There's got to be something cool you can do with this. I don't know how amazing this is off the top of my head, so I'm just gonna move on. He's a 1 health. I'm kind of down on most, if not all, of the 1 health Omegas. I think you kind of want something that's a little stickier. As I said that, I just flipped up a 1-cost Omega that I actually think is incredible. So, anyways, here's 8-cost Monarch, 6/15, 1 health. Pull on Quantum Strings. When you recruit Monarch, turn each face-down card in your resource row face up. Cards other than locations can be face up in your resource row. Characters on your side can turn face up cards other than locations in your resource row face down to generate any power symbol to pay for their superpowers. So you get all your locations back. Everything that you rode that wasn't a location is treated as essentially a wild location for anybody who wants to pay it. This card definitely has a place in competitive versus, I think. As a combo piece, I think it's incredible. For resource-hungry combos, he gives you so much. Again, though, I do think it's hilarious that, like, if I were to play Monarch and my opponent was to follow it up with Iceman, like, he flips up all his locations and then Iceman is going to freeze them all. That's just kind of a hilarious counter Monarch interaction. You still get to have those to pay for things, though, so it's not like a perfect counter. But I actually think that card's great. He's only got the 1 health, but he's got 15 butt, and like if you just like play this and now you have everything you need to go off on your combo and win the game. I think that he definitely has a place in competitive versus 100,000%. Okay, this is the one that I think is the best. This is my favorite Omega. So we have Proteus. Killer artwork, by the way, also. He's a 0/0, 1 health. but he's got I think, the best power. He has possession. If Proteus would be recruited, remove him from the game instead. When he's removed this way, choose a face-up character on your side to be his host until it gets stuns or leaves play. So we've seen this on Shadow King. Now, what does his host get to do once you do this? It has reality warping. Proteus's host gets +10/+10 and a range and has main blue heal a wound from this character. So they get +10/+10, they gain range, and they can heal wounds. And you can put this on your main character. So we have generic healing now. Generic in that, like, I don't have to have a predator, like something to put a med kit on. I don't have to play freaking, 3-cost, what's it called, CMO Clemens. I just drop this one drop, and now all I need is a blue, and my main character can heal. If you're already on blue, I don't know, man. I just think this card is great. I mean, it sucks that like you're playing your 8-drop, and then now you're removing your 8-drop, but you're getting +10/+10 on your main character, and they can heal wounds. Healing wounds is one of the best things you can do in this game. I think this card's really great. I think you will see this card see play. That card I think seems great. I love this card too. We have Storm, 12/9, flight, 2 health. She is under the weather. When you recruit Storm, you may move any number of enemy characters to a different row on their side. You get to mess with her formation when she appears, and then you control each enemy player's next formation step. So it's worth noting that's not permanent. You get to do it when she comes out, and then this just says their next formation step. So you get to do it essentially twice. You mess with their formation when she comes out, and then you get to control their next formation. But messing with your opponent's formation, controlling their formation, is like really, really, really good. One of my favorite underrated, underplayed cards is the 4-drop Falconer from the Predator set that lets you, at the end of their formation step, push or pull a guy. That card has actually been really good for me. So I actually think this one is like really strong. She's got 2 health. She's well statted. Yeah, I think she's one of the better ones. She's up there. And then this is, I think, probably the worst one. So we have Vulcan. He's a 3/3, flight range, 2 health, and he has energy manipulation. When Vulcan enters combat with an enemy character with a superpower, he gains +1/+1 counters equal to that character's attack. There's very, very few high-cost characters with superpowers that see play. There's like Thanos, so he would give you 12. If anybody is still playing, what's it called? Sentry, the Wall. Sentry has a superpower, so he would give you 18. That would be great. But other than that, Silver Surfer doesn't have any superpowers. What's it called? Gilgamesh doesn't have any superpowers. Dark Phoenix doesn't have any superpowers. Dark Phoenix probably makes this a 3/3 blank if she called keywords. I think this is the worst one. Yeah, I would put this below like all of them, even Legion. I think Vulcan is clearly the worst one. It got great artwork though. But anyways, that's the Omega set. I like it a lot. I know that there have been some people talking. There's been some complaints about how they feel kind of cheated. I think this is like a new player thing. They feel kind of cheated because they bought the box and they're getting not very many playable cards because you can only put one of these in their deck. So the volume of playable cards that they can jam into their deck, if they so choose, is limited to 1 Omega. And I do understand that mentality, especially because I'm especially sensitive to it now that I've read the side of this box, because the box lies to you. But I would just recommend doing some research on the products you're buying for Versus. That's why I make these videos, so you can kind of see what's in the box and decide which Versus products are for you. So if you've already invested in Versus and you want to just jam some really cool, fun, wacky, powerful, high-cost characters in your various decks, I think this is great. While you're not being able to jam a bunch of these in your deck, to me, the ratio of good cards in here to bad cards is like much better than in previous sets. So in that sense, I actually think the set's a home run. I'm actually a big fan of a lot of these. I'm a big fan of the full art. I'm a big fan of the design of a lot of these. I think very few of them are terrible. I think Legion is pretty terrible, and I think Vulcan is terrible, but none of them else I think are like garbage. I think some are more competitive than others, but the number of bad cards in here is like really, really low, I think. So if you can get past the fact that the box lies to you, just do a little bit of research and know what you're buying. But yeah, it's definitely a shame that the box has false advertising. But if you can get over that, I actually think this set is a huge win. I actually really like this set a lot. I hope they do more stuff like this with the full art and stuff. Yeah, it's definitely my favorite of the arc. Maybe I'll do like an arc in review, and I'll give my full review of the Omega level arc. But I actually really like this. So, anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Let me know what you guys think of the Omegas. Which is your favorite of the Omegas, and which is maybe your least favorite? Which one do you think is the least playable? I think it's Vulcan for sure. I think the best one is probably either Proteus or Magneto or Jean. Anyways, let me know what you guys think of the Omega level arc, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.